This month, we are focusing on mobility. So make sure to head to the description below, click on the link so that you have access to our whole month of the mobility calendar, where we're going to work up the line doing different exercises to help increase mobility through our body. So today we are going to focus on the feet. This should take no more than about 5 minutes, and feel free to use this as much as you'd like to help work on strengthening the feet. So the feet are your foundation and are very important not only for balance, but also proprioception, to tell where your body is in space. So it's really important to make sure that you have movement throughout your feet and your ankles. Today we're going to just work through some different exercises to help you work on increasing the strength and mobility in your feet. So the first thing we're going to do is we want to look down at our feet and we want to try to spread our toes apart as much as possible. If you struggle with this, I do have some exercise videos where I help you work on stretching and lengthening your toes, or you can also grab those toe separators. They have yoga toe separators that you can try to help work on opening those feet. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to press big toe down, let the little toes lift up. Now, if this is too difficult to do standing, you can also do this seated. Standing increases the difficulty a little bit, so feel free to do whichever feels more comfortable for you. Then we're going to place the little toes on the floor, try to lift the big toe. You may notice when you do this that your toes sometimes kind of pull back towards the other toes. I want you to think about pulling them towards one another to help with that, getting them away from that from the other toes, bringing it more to the midline. And relax. From here, we're going to press that big toe down into the floor. Think about pulling that big toe back towards the heels, which is going to help create the arch of the foot. So here's me relaxed. If I press that big toe down and I pull back, you'll see how it kind of creates an arch. Pay attention to what your toes are doing, the other toes. You don't want them scrunching up, creating like hammer toes, so let them relax. From here, we're going to tap that right foot and then tap that left foot. And then we're going to move into pressing through that midfoot. So this does work into some of that ankle mobility as well. And then the other side. So your feet play a huge role up the line. If you notice that you have knee or hip pain, you may want to focus on your feet more. You may lack mobility and strength within your foot and your ankle. So it's really important to work on strengthening your feet. From here, you can go back and forth between both sides, and then you can even go up into a calf raise as well. Also, for those of you that may struggle with incontinence or pelvic floor problems, where you struggle to hold things in when you are jumping, coughing, sneezing, things like that, that may have to do with that big toe. So we want to make sure that we can create extension with that big toe as well. So very important to be able to do these exercises, not only for the health of the feet, but up the line of the whole body. Then from here, we're going to work on pronation supination. So you don't want to have a foot that is locked in. You hear people talk about overpronating, where you kind of fall in at the ankles and that foot is flat. We want to be able to move into this position. So making sure that you always have arch support. Yes, it's important to work on strengthening the feet and protecting it if you need to use arch support, but you still need to continue to work on strengthening the feet because you need to be able to move through pronation. We should have some pronation when we move. So we're going to kind of move here where I'm going to move to the outside of one foot, the inside of the other foot. So it's a supination and pronation of the foot, and then switch. Allow the knees to follow along with the hips and shoulders to what feels natural. If you notice when you do this, tension or tightness or are unable to do this, you've got to work on moving this more. And I'm going to show you an exercise you can do seated to help with this. So we will sit down. If you notice your foot is rigid and it wasn't able to do that, and maybe you kind of felt like, I'm going to sprain my ankle if I do what she's doing, then I want you to take your hands, I want you to place one kind of on your upper foot ankle area and one on your forefoot. And we're just going to work on kind of gently, it's like you're wringing out a towel. And you just want to work on creating some movement here with that foot. And then do the other side. If you have any questions, make sure to leave me questions in the comments below. I'm happy to help answer anything for you. And make sure to grab that calendar as we will be doing a whole month of mobility all the way up through the line of the body, along with some foam rolling stretches and exercises that you can do to work on increasing mobility.